Hi, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. Today is all about empty nesters. My name is Gina,
I'm Noreen.
and we're here together. We're going to talk about our empty nester syndrome, and it's a real thing. It
It
really is.
is.
We've been struggling with this. So it's something that we really want to talk about, something very passionate. We could be helping other people, and you guys can be helping us too. So
Absolutely.
we're
Mhm.
yeah, we all want to know what you have to say after we're done too. And we hope that you enjoy this podcast. And again, don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe to
Bell,
our channel.
ding, ding.
And again, how are you coping?
How are you coping?
How are you coping?
So, G, let us know about statistics. I know you have
Oh
some
my gosh.
information
So
on
I
statistics.
22.5 million people in the United States are suffering from empty nester syndrome. And it is a real thing. It's a real psychological condition. And I
Hmm.
felt it. I mean, you go through like, it's like you're grieving a loss,
Yes.
emptiness, loneliness. You cry. I
Hmm.
mean, I've cried to myself. It's like you just can't get this comfort zone when your kids
Right.
leave the house.
Right. You saw the age, sorry, my phone. You
Yes,
saw the age it's from like 40 to 60, right?
yes,
So we're like
yes.
right in the middle, right?
Right in the middle, right in the middle.
Mhm.
And it's hard because again, Noreen, she lives in South Carolina, and you're by yourself.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in North Carolina, and you know what? My kids are all scattered everywhere across the United States. So
Mine
it's
too.
very difficult. And
Hmm.
I've been struggling for a long time, and I didn't even know what was wrong with me at one point. I was like, what's wrong? Why am I crying all the time?
Right, right, right. And because you're so used to, right, growing raising your children, raising them
Right,
children in another network of parents who have children your same ages, and you're
right.
all going to football games, you're going to hockey games, you're going to this play, that play
Right.
with your kids, activities, karate, whatever they're doing, right?
Yep.
And everybody's meeting up almost every weekend. Everybody's meeting up, and you're
Yes,
meeting the same
exactly.
people, and you're so busy because you have this doing.
Exactly.
And then in a blink of an eye, it's gone.
It's like silent. It's like, okay, well, who am I? Am I Gina?
Am I
Right?
Noreen?
What do I do? Who am
Wait
I? I've lost
a minute.
myself for 20 years. I'm
Right.
like thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like you have no, I mean, you're cooking for like for
Yep.
nobody anymore. It's like, I have my husband, I'm cooking for him, and it's like, but it's not the same feeling. You feel like you're not needed
Right.
the way you
Right.
felt so needed.
Right. Until they call up.
That's what I've learned. That's one thing that we can share with all of you. You think that you're not going to be needed. All of a sudden, you have everybody calling you, asking you for advice. Then they hang up the phone. There's silence, but then they always need you. When it really comes down to it, they really do
Right.
need you all the time.
And then you say to yourself, like I did yesterday, it was beautiful down here yesterday. It was 80 degrees here yesterday. And I sat on my deck the whole day, practically the whole day, just enjoying the birds, the sun, and it was beautiful. And then I say to myself, wow, I
Yeah.
got a little peace for a minute,
See?
for a half a day,
Right.
little peace. And I didn't have to run around
No,
and have everything scheduled like I did when we had littles.
exactly.
And I could come and go as I please, right? So if I want
Right.
to hop in a car and drive to Florida, I
You could
can.
go.
If I
You
want to
could
hop in a
go.
car and drive to G, say, hey, we're
Exactly.
here.
Hey,
I can.
party. No.
Party, right? And then, but when we had littles, our whole plan was what's their schedule? And we,
Exactly.
and
It was,
and I worked too.
I know,
I
I
worked,
know. You worked your
I worked a
full-time job.
full time
Right.
job.
Right. And it was, and you're trying to, you live on a calendar. Your whole life is based on a calendar.
Right.
And you're
And
trying to
now,
scatter to go to this person's thing, but you may have your kids have the same thing on the same day, and you're like, what the heck? And you're sending one person on one, and it's just a
right,
lot. But you're right.
right.
I honestly will tell you one thing I've learned after going through this for so long. I've
Mm-hmm.
learned that I could take my cup of coffee and I can sit there and really drink my coffee in peace and
Mm-hmm.
personally maybe read the news, watch what's, talk to your friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. Go
Right,
like you said, go shopping and mentally like or go
right,
join a gym, something
right,
you do for
right.
yourself.
Right, which
No,
we did. I mean, we didn't have, and I will never ever regret any of it because I was placed here to be a mom. I know
true.
this. I feel this,
100%.
and 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 momhood is the best thing
It's
accomplishment
the
I've
best
ever done. And I
rewarding.
tell
So
my kids
rewarding.
they are my best accomplishments I've ever
Yep,
did.
me
I tell my
too.
kids that every single day.
Yep.
And I've worked at many, many jobs, different jobs all over the damn place, right? But my kids are my greatest accomplishment that I
Yes.
would never regret any of that time.
Right.
And but some days I'm like, gee, like, oh my God, especially, during the holidays when they come, when they're
So
off for the
hard.
school break and they go back. It's
Right.
like,
It's hard. The holidays are 100% so hard.
yeah,
Really hard because you feel I don't know, there's just something about going into Christmas and and if when your kids are only here for a couple of days, I don't know, there's just something that just is
yeah,
broken. You feel
yeah,
broken. And
yeah,
that's the part where I hope we can get to one day where you feel like mended when you have grandkids, perhaps, and they get
right,
married, and now you're doing weddings, and then you have
right,
the real thing. You have grandkids at one point. You could
right.
really take that and go, forget about you kids. I want my grandkids around.
Exactly. Right. Right. And and also because hopefully, knock on wood, we're a little away from grandkids.
Right,
you
I
know,
know,
but
exactly. We're too young. We're too young.
right, we're too young, too young. Don't call me no grandma. So, but
Call me Gina.
call me Gina Ma. I mean, no, Gina
Exactly.
Ma.
Exactly.
But but also I think about when, just like what you said before, that was a great thing when you said just call a friend you haven't spoke to in a while,
Right.
right?
Right.
And maybe us as women, as moms, as people who really sacrificed our whole being for our
Okay.
children, because that's what we did, and
Right.
that's what we do, and we'll do it every day we'll
Exactly.
do it. um but when you said call a friend, maybe call a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while, that's huge too, because guess what? You can, if you have that friend that you can lean on,
Right.
and if you have that friend that you could just call up that you haven't spoke to in years, but you
Yep.
feel like you spoke to them yesterday,
Exactly. That's how
that's
you know that friendship has always been strong.
and that's going to help you
Yes.
deal with this,
Exactly.
any empty
Yeah.
nesters.
Because you
Because
could
even if
cry,
you,
you could tell that
yeah,
person they feel the same way you do, or you know what? It's
right,
like, help me, like mentally. We can
right.
help each other. We can help
Right.
each
We're all
other.
in that same boat. Us, our generation, which we're Generation X. Hello.
Exactly.
We are all in that boat,
Yeah,
right? So
we
we're
are.
in that boat, and we have to remember that, we have to like reach out to each other,
Right.
especially us who are going through this empty
Yes.
nest stage. And we can build each other up. Look,
That's
I
it.
I remain
Women
positive
power.
a lot. I remain positive a lot. I
Yeah,
remain
we
I've
do.
had people down here saying, how the hell are you so positive so
Mhm.
much? Because I have to be.
Yes.
Because if I'm not, I'll be crawled over in a
I was
ball
gonna say
somewhere in the,
exactly.
excuse my language, over
Me
here in the
too.
ball.
Me, me too. I'd be on the floor. Hello, pick me up over here.
Freaking bottle in
Exactly.
my
That's
mouth
what I'm saying.
and not a baby bottle.
So true. Listen, I know how it is because you have to find coping skills. Whether one of my coping skill is not only I get to talk to my friends, including you, and we can connect and we can really feel each other's like pain and help each other through it. I
Mm-hmm.
run like a banshee on my treadmill. I see a vision and I just keep running like I'm running from something
And Gina does it every morning.
every day,
She's
five
on
days
that
a
thing. She
week.
jumps on that bit. She's
I
like,
do. I run about 3 to 4 miles every day, 5 days a week. And if I don't do that, and I'll tell everybody that's listening, exercise is one of the biggest things I've had to do for myself. It definitely
mm-hmm.
gives you this. It does something to the endorphins. It keeps them positive. It makes you go on a natural high. Like you
It
feel like
really does.
everything's gonna be okay.
And you have, and yeah, the endorphins. The
Right.
endorphins totally help
Really,
you.
they do. Like it's been so helpful. So, if anybody's on here listening right now, please feel free. Like if we can be all friends. Like, especially
Yeah,
women out there that need help. Like women empower each other. Like we're
yeah,
supposed to lift each other up. And we're
absolutely.
here to like empower you guys too. Anything that you guys
Mm-hmm.
want to say, like we are moms. Like we
Yep,
get it. We
we
feel it.
do.
So
We've been down a block or two,
we
and
really
and
have.
around it and back with it, back down the
Exactly.
road, the dirt road, the
We've
sand
been
road,
all over the place. So
pavement road, the
exactly.
woods, the
We're
city.
everywhere. Like, listen, we've been all over the place. So you know what? Anything, please, like connect with us. Like we can have
Yes.
conversation. We can put you up on our panel. We can all
Oh,
talk about this
yeah,
together. And you know what? You
yeah,
go away feeling like you have somebody to help you,
yeah, yeah.
because it
And
really
and we're good peeps. We
it's
are
good
good
peeps.
people.
We're really
We are
good.
not like I have like the ounce of non-judgment in my body. I don't even, there's none. There's
No,
none.
never,
Don't
never.
judge.
Noreen is not one to judge. I am never here to judge anybody because I don't feel it's right. Everybody
Mm-mm.
has something going on in their lives. We
Yeah.
don't judge anybody. We have
No.
things that go on in our lives. We don't
Yeah.
expect people to judge us. So
Right.
we are
Right.
completely, non-judgmental. We're just here to lift each
Right.
other up and
Which time
power
to time
everybody.
we time to time in our past and probably in our futures we've have been judged. I know I
Oh, I
have.
know. Listen, I'm not trying to be mean, but women are but one of the biggest. There are certain people that you come across and they're not happy with themselves. So
Right.
they want to pull you down with them and
Right.
everything becomes either a competition or some kind of jealousy.
And
So,
it's
I mean,
silly.
even with this
It's silly.
podcast, it's like,
Yep.
oh, these women, right away, somebody's going to judge something because some people are there are people that are miserable and they don't want to help themselves
Right. Right.
and they want to live in this misery and just judge everybody else.
Right. And I have no desire to even go there with that.
Never. We're
And
not touching that. You know what?
no,
Maybe we
no.
do,
I mean,
maybe
and
we
there
do that
will.
one day, but we won't touch it.
Right. And the thing is there's going to be some podcasts that we're just going to go off the cut and we
Right.
are going to be a little more you know to talk about how we feel about certain things. It's gonna,
Exactly. It's only
because we
normal.
all have opinions, we all have
Exactly.
voices, right?
It's normal. It's so normal to talk about our feelings. And that's the thing. I think sometimes we feel guilty to talk about things, right? Because it makes us look weak. And it
Right.
really doesn't. I've learned that. Like at first, I'm like, oh gosh, if I give into this or if I cry to somebody, am I
Right.
making myself think I'm a weak person? And I realize it's not anything.
No,
You're
no.
helping yourself when you let it out.
Right. And
Let it out.
that's why with the empty nesters, what we're talking about today
Yes,
and coping with it, it's all of that,
it's
right?
all of
But
it.
you may be that person like I was in the beginning, because in the beginning it was really, really tough for me because I had a lot of things stacked up
Yes,
against me. Like a lot
yes,
of things happened at once for
yes.
me. We'll get to that in another podcast.
Right.
But then now I'm like, wow, I got some freedom, like I said
Yeah.
before.
And
So
it's
you may
exciting.
be
It is
the one,
exciting. When you
you
talk
may be
about it, you
the
get me excited because you know what?
right.
It's good that I hear you say that because sometimes I have to like go, yes, it is freedom, but the way you're saying it, I really do feel that it was seeing you and talk about that. It makes me excited. Like, yeah, you're right. We do. We have
Right.
freedom.
You do, because you can find you and your husband again. Who are you two?
Right. Who are
Right?
you?
Who are
Exactly.
you two? Who are you? I don't want to say your husband's name because I don't want to put him on the
Yeah,
spot,
I
but
know.
you and your husband, you can find you guys back who you were
Right.
before you had children,
It's true.
right?
And
And
Noreen,
that's a good, that's an okay thing too.
not to cut into this, but it looks like we have